mean, I've met him already 3 times. He's come over to see me twice. I have a call. He and I have a call over the next 24 hours. No, I get along with him well. I like him a lot. He's liberal, which is a little bit different for me. But I think he's a very good person. I think he's done a very good job thus far. He's very new in the job, but he's represented his country in terms of his philosophy. I may not agree with his philosophy, but I have a very good relationship with him. I've seen him twice, had dinner with him in Trump Tower, as you probably know. You know that, right?
Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, hasn't exactly been shy about his feelings toward Donald Trump. He's called him a danger to the world, slammed his policies, and even said quite bluntly that Trump would never be welcome at his dinner table. The relationship between these two seemed like one of those rivalries where the gloves stay off, no matter the circumstances. Yet, here we are. Trump recently held a 45-minute phone call with Starmer, and they're now planning to meet face-to-face.
Of course, I wouldn't want Donald Trump round for dinner, but don't underestimate the danger to the world if Trump is re-elected this time around. I'm anti-Trump. I would like to send my warmest congratulations to President Trump on his inauguration as the 47th President of the United States.
So, what changed? That's the question on everyone's mind. Has Trump suddenly decided to turn the other cheek? Or is this just another strategic move from a man known for his unpredictable plays? It's fascinating to see someone like Trump, who built his brand on strength and confrontation, opening the door to someone who publicly criticized him for years. And it's not just a small gesture either. A 45-minute conversation suggests they had a lot to talk about. Could this be about mutual interests, or maybe Trump sees Starmer's position as an opportunity to reset relations? Whatever the reason, it's hard to ignore how bizarre this shift feels. For a man like Trump, who doesn't easily let things slide, this move raises eyebrows. Is he brushing aside Starmer's past remarks because they don't matter anymore? Or is this about rewriting history to suit his agenda? Whatever's going on, it's clear this meeting is going to have people talking. The fact that Trump is entertaining a meeting with Keir Starmer has left many scratching their heads. This is the same Donald Trump who never hesitated to fire back at critics, often with brutal comebacks. So why does Starmer, who has openly insulted him for years, suddenly get a free pass?
Well, I'm going to see him in about an hour, so I have to be nice, right? But I actually think he's very nice. I think he ran a great race. He did very well. It's very early, but he's popular, and I'll be seeing him, and I'll send you regards. Who are you with? Who are you with? Okay, good. Well, I think Nigel is great. I mean, I've known him for a long time. He had a great election, too. Picked up a lot of seats, more seats than he was allowed to have, actually. They acknowledge that he won, but for some reason you have a very strange system over there.
It's a stark contrast to how Trump typically operates. Historically, he's gone after anyone who questioned his authority, from world leaders to celebrities. But here, he's making friendly overtures to someone who outright called him a threat to global security. Does this mean Trump is softening, or could it be a strategic maneuver? Some speculate that Trump may be playing the long game. Starmer, after all, is a key figure in one of America's closest allies. Could this be an attempt to strengthen ties with the UK, especially with big international challenges on the horizon? Others wonder if this is simply Trump letting his ego take a backseat for political gain. Then there's the question of how Americans feel about this. Trump has always prided himself on being strong and unyielding. By engaging with someone like Starmer, who's been nothing but critical, does he risk looking weak? Or is this a smart move that shows he's capable of putting personal grievances aside when it matters most?
I'm sure the Prime Minister and the whole House would wish to congratulate Donald Trump on his landslide victory last week.
Well, I'm glad to see the honourable member making a rare appearance back here. We've spent so much time in America recently. I was half expecting to see him on the immigration statistics when we see them flat.
Whatever the reason, this is a departure from Trump's usual style. And whether it's strength or strategy, it's left people wondering what his next move will be. Sadiq Khan and Donald Trump have never seen eye to eye. The mayor of London has called out Trump publicly, branding him as unfit for leadership and even mocking him with the infamous Donald Who jab. It wasn't long ago that Trump fired back with his signature defiance, promising he would never forget Khan's remarks. This feud became one of Trump's most personal international rivalries, with insults traded back and forth on public platforms. But something's changed. While Khan's criticism hasn't softened, he continues to highlight Trump's flaws. Trump seems to have completely shifted his focus. Instead of engaging in yet another war of words, Trump is now focused on building bridges with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who, ironically, has also been a vocal critic of his. So why the cold shoulder for Khan? Is Trump choosing to rise above the attacks, or does he simply see Khan as irrelevant compared to Starmer? This selective engagement raises eyebrows. For someone who built his reputation on being unapologetically combative, his silence toward Khan feels unusual.
Well, I think Nigel is great. I mean, I've known him for a long time. He had a great election, too. Picked up a lot of seats, more seats than he was allowed to have, actually. They acknowledge that he won, but for some reason you have a very strange system over there.
Could it be a sign of disinterest, signaling that Khan isn't worth his time? Or is it a calculated move to prioritize higher-level relationships? By extending olive branches to Starmer while ignoring Khan, Trump may be showing a different side of himself, one that's more strategic, even if it leaves people questioning his motives. Whatever the reason, it's clear Trump's approach to criticism is evolving in unexpected ways. Donald Trump has never been shy about flexing his political muscle, and his handling of Colombian President Gustavo Petro is proof of that. When Petro pushed back against Trump's stance on key issues, Trump didn't just respond, he came down hard. His aggressive approach left Petro with little choice but to back down, a clear display of Trump's dominance when dealing with adversarial leaders. This beast mode style of leadership has been a hallmark of Trump's persona, showing strength and an unwillingness to compromise when challenged.
President Trump says he's directing his administration to take immediate action against Colombia's president and his supporters, including tariffs, a travel ban, and visa sanctions. The move comes after Colombia denied entry to 2 C-17 military planes carrying undocumented immigrants, forcing the planes to turn around midair. Colombian President Gustavo Petro said Sunday that the U.S. cannot treat migrants as criminals, and that Colombia would accept migrants on civilian planes. The news comes just days after the White House posted these images of migrants boarding a C-17 for deportation, with the Trump administration hailing the move as a promise kept.
We're getting the bad, hard criminals out.
2 flights carrying migrants landed in Guatemala City on Friday, but a planned flight to Mexico was blocked by the Mexican government last week.
Why isn't Trump using the same approach with the UK leadership? Keir Starmer and even London's mayor, Sadiq Khan, have both openly criticized him. Yet Trump seems almost uncharacteristically calm and collaborative when it comes to dealing with Starmer, even going as far as planning a meeting. So, what's changed? One theory is that Trump is shifting gears strategically. The UK remains one of America's closest allies, and perhaps Trump sees the bigger picture here, prioritizing alliances over personal ego. Another possibility is that Trump's softer tone with the UK is part of a new political playbook. With election season looming, he may be looking to reframe his image as a leader who can balance toughness with diplomacy. Whatever the reasoning, the contrast is striking. With Petro, Trump went all in, refusing to back down. With the UK, he seems to be picking his battles. Is it a calculated move or a sign of a new approach? That's the real question.
The US said it would not impose sanctions and tariffs in Colombia after it agreed to accept flights deporting migrants from the US. Donald Trump had ordered 25% tariffs on all Colombian goods after President Gustavo Petro stopped 2 US military planes from landing yesterday.
Trump's softer tone toward UK leaders is sparking mixed reactions. Critics argue that it undermines the strongman image he's built over the years. For someone who thrives on confrontation, this unexpected friendliness might appear weak to some. However, others see it as a shift in leadership style, perhaps a sign that Trump is maturing as a statesman, prioritizing diplomacy over personal feuds. This change could carry significant weight for U.S.-UK relations. The UK remains a vital ally, and a positive relationship with its leadership might strengthen both countries' positions on global issues. Trump's willingness to engage with Prime Minister Keir Starmer, despite years of criticism, could pave the way for smoother cooperation on trade, security, and international policies. But let's not ignore the timing. With another election around the corner, Trump may be playing a strategic game. Aligning with the UK could bolster his foreign policy credentials and show voters that he's capable of balancing toughness with diplomacy. It also sends a broader message to other world leaders. Trump can work with critics when it suits his goals. The real question is whether this approach will pay off. Will voters see it as a smart, calculated move, or will it backfire by making him look inconsistent? Either way, this shift in behavior toward the UK is setting the stage for intriguing developments on both sides of the Atlantic.
You have a man from Europe, I don't know if he's here, I saw him backstage. What he did was, and what he is doing is sort of what we did a few years ago. He's doing a great job. He's he's always been my friend for some reason. He liked me, I liked him, and he's shaking it up pretty good over there. He was the big winner of the last election in the UK, and he's a very spectacular man, very highly respected, Nigel Farage. He's a little bit of a rebel, but that's good. That's good. Don't change, Nigel.
Trump's behavior toward the UK raises more questions than answers. Is he playing a long game, trying to disarm critics like Keir Starmer? Or is this a calculated move to reshape his image ahead of the election? His supporters, particularly those who admire his no-nonsense style, might find this softer approach confusing. Ultimately, Trump's evolving stance toward the UK leadership suggests he's walking a fine line between diplomacy and maintaining his reputation as a strong leader. Whether this is strategic brilliance or a gamble that risks alienating his base remains to be seen. One thing's certain, it's keeping everyone guessing.